Hello and welcome back to the finale of the War Room of Advance Wars Horizons. Today we'll take on the Horizon. In this one we'll be going with George. So we've got a mirror match. Or not. Who's that? That's not George. That ain't Falco. That's Hawk. So yeah, Hawk has managed to sneak himself into this hack. Hey Vivi, so in this hack we've got red Mars, blue Neptune, green Saturn and yellow Venus. But where's brown Uranus? Come on, we've even got a CO called George in this hack, and Uranus was originally named after King George III. The joke writes itself. In this map we do start with airports, ports and bases, so we'll be able to get any units we want. Of course, this means we'll be prioritising air units once again. Hawk starts with more bases and a huge amount of income compared to you. So rushing in and taking on his army with ground units is probably a bad idea. You'll just get overwhelmed with sheer numbers. Now, we are playing George, so we do have a slight firepower nerf, but we capture a comm tower just in time and we're able to one-shot the anti-air. In this map, it seems like Hawk's units just go straight down. They don't harass the sides of the map too much. And we'll be taking full advantage of this. Now, unlike in most other strategies we use, we will be using a fighter in this one. Normally it's enough to just build bombers and absolutely obliterate the ground forces. Doing this means the AI has to keep replacing those ground units, and they never save up enough money for buying fighters of their own. Since Hawk starts with a huge amount of income, we can't get away with that this time, so we will need a fighter of our own. At this point we're just checking ranges, and we do decide to attack the cruiser. If we left it alive, it would start harassing our airport, and we do want to build some units from the forward airport we just captured. We also need to be careful not to move too close, as the fighter has a huge range. We're hoping that the fighter will just go down and avoid defending the HQ. Now this fighter is being a bit evasive, so we're not able to take a strike on it just yet. If we position ourselves up by the HQ, we'll be able to ward off the fighter from getting any closer. Thankfully that battlecopter doesn't have any aggressive AI. It's just going to start placing itself next to cities that the AI hasn't captured yet. This means our infantry can just run around and they don't need any protection. Now here, the AI is being defensive of its HQ with its planes. This would be annoying, but the air units move first, and then the transports move away. And this allows us to actually take a first strike on the fighter with our own. We do need to be careful about Hawk's power. Luckily, our boy George has just the counter for that, as when he uses his CO power, he's immune to any damage that comes from outside of battle. We're just thinking about where to put our units. We do have a small tank chasing us as well, but if we go straight up into this corner, we're able to place our T-copter in safety. Then it can move into the mountain ranges just above his HQ. Hawk isn't able to get his power this turn, as the fighter-on-fighter engagement puts him over the threshold. So we've overcharged him, and he'll be inclined to use his super. Now this enemy fighter is at 2 HP, so it's going to be stuck in repair mode for a few turns. We're just thinking about how to get him to use his super this turn, but there is a juicy Neo-Tank there. That'll give us plenty of charge. We're just a bit shy from getting him to use his super, even after all those attacks. But with the units we have by his HQ, he's not actually going to attack any of our own units, so he won't be building any charge for himself this turn. Now here we have an anti-air and a missiles to deal with. The missiles is obviously the least important threat that we've got to deal with. Now back over at our base, we're just thinking about how we can get our power score, but luckily Hawk is sending a bunch of units to our HQ. Our bomber is able to sneak itself into minimum range of the missiles while still attacking the anti-air. We just squeeze a bit of power out of the missiles, then use our CIO power. This will increase our defense for this turn, but more importantly, it will make us immune to the Black Storm that's incoming. With the extra boost of damage from our power, we hit the anti-air into repair mode. Same goes for this bomber as well. So Hawk will block both of his airports. We're not able to drop off our infantry just yet. While it will be immune to the Black Storm, there's still that Neo tank running around that we've got to deal with first. Now Hawk will be able to heal all of his units for 2 HP, but the important thing about repair mode is that the AI seems to look at it at the start of their turn. So the bomber and the anti-air that were at 2 HP are still in repair mode, even though they now have gained a bit of health from his power. Now this turn we do have a bit of an opportunity because the missiles has put itself on the HQ. We have 2 air units and a mountain on the other sides of the infantry. There's a tile just above the HQ where it's safe to drop our infantry off this turn. Now our fighter doesn't have anything to do this turn, so he'll be positioning himself on the HQ. Our bombers and the copter are just going to be getting ready to position themselves to surround the infantry on the HQ. Back at our base, we've killed off the battlecopter, and we can now start chipping away at some units in preparation for our power score on the following turn. Now here, Hawk's only built 2 infantry, so we're in a very good position to start attacking the HQ. Unfortunately, the fighter is going to repair to full and it will start moving on this turn. So we've got to come up with a strategy that allows our infantry to go unharmed. We only have so many units sitting just outside the HQ, so it's going to be a bit tricky. On this turn, we're able to get our power score. Now, we saw this in a previous map. I think it was on Great Glacier. But we can actually manipulate the AI into attacking our bomber. The rest of our wall could be instantly destroyed by the fighter, but in this hack, the AI prefers targeting more valuable units, from what I have discovered. So here we'll put our full HP bomber just north of the infantry. And that way the fighter will be inclined to attack the full HP bomber instead of the injured fighter or our copter. If it did do that, then the wall would break and our HQ capture could be interrupted. But with this little manipulation trick, our wall stands strong. On this map, Hawk does have some comm towers. This, coupled with his normal extra firepower boost, means the fighter is going to hit very hard. But once again, our boy George has countered Hawk. George has an innate defense boost. This, coupled with the regular boost in defense you'd get from using a power, as well as the power of shield wall, makes our units very hard to kill this turn. the bomber lived on 1 HP, and the rest of our units were uninjured, so we're able to capture this turn. The requirement for a perfect S rank in speed on this map is 26 days, but we've managed to beat it in just 14. I couldn't just give my viewers any more videos without cheese, so we'll send this playthrough off with a cheesy HQ cap. As Hawk said though, this will not be the end of this playthrough. Currently, this is just the demo, and it only features the war room. Hopefully soon we'll get an update for this hack that includes a full campaign as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and look forward to it. Once again, we've come to the end of one of my playthroughs. Hopefully we'll see the full release of this hack quite soon. But until then, it's goodbye.